Firstly, well done for actually clicking on that link and turning up here, showing up for yourself and wanting to learn about how to make your life better, or at least being curious about how that can happen. It's not easy to take that first step, but let me ask you this. How far are you willing to go to live a life free of stress, fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, depression, self loathing, emotional turmoil, a lack of self confidence, all of which doesn't just negatively impact your life, but the life of those around you? Parents, family, children, partners, colleagues. In this video, I'm going to share a tool with you that will allow you to live a life that is not directed and dictated by external circumstances, overwhelming thoughts and emotions, but a life that you are in control of. Just imagine waking up and having that energy and desire to jump out of bed and start your day because you know you are in control of it. You know that you are equipped to catch any curveball that life throws at you. And you know that when you fall, you can get back up, dust yourself off, and be stronger than before. Well, you can with the right tools, support, guidance, and your commitment. You can create a life that is calm, balanced, happy, where you're in control of what you want. My name is Mindy Taliente, and I am the founder of Wellness for Life. I had a bit of a traumatic childhood growing up and left home at 14. In my 20s, I made some choices that led to avoidance behaviours, and let's just call them pain numbing techniques. And then in my 30s, I entered relationships that left me very depressed and even suicidal. As they say, your life experiences can either make you or break you. And I'm very fortunate to say for me, it was the former. From many years of therapy and over 25 years of professional training in life coaching, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness-based stress reduction, cultivating emotional mental balance, acceptance and commitment therapy, positive psychology, mental health first aid, and many forms of yoga and breathing. It took a lot. I was able to make a life and create a life that I was in control of, and living very happily ever since. And I've got good news for you. You don't have to take 25 years to do that. I'm going to save you the job. In all seriousness, though, it is my lifelong passion to empower people, as many people as I can, to know how to free themselves of pain, struggle, and suffering so they can live a life of joy, purpose, and potential. And in turn, this can spill over to impact other people and their life too. I am not a magician who can wave a magic wand and that can happen overnight. Trust me, if I could, I would have done it over the whole planet already. However, I can assure you that the tool that I'm about to share is simple, effective, and it doesn't take long. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. So if you're ready to make that change, it does take commitment. And if you're willing to do it consistently, you are able to create absolutely any change in your life that you want. So commitment plus consistency means transformation. If you're ready to create a life of calm and peace where you're in control of your behaviors, responses, and actions, let's get started. So the first thing to know about the challenges to our well-being that I mentioned earlier is that they are not standalone. Let's take an example of anxiety. Although anxiety is deemed to be a mental health condition, it actually works and affects your social health, your physical health, and your mental and emotional health too. Let me explain why. Because we are four-pronged. There are always four aspects to our health that are interconnected intrinsically and inextricable. So let me show you. So there's me. Okay, I am also a mind. So there's my mental health. There's my mental health. I am also emotions because I feel. I am a being that feels. I have a social life. So there's my social health because there are people around me. And I have a physical body. Here I am in my physical body. That's me. So when anxiety occurs, actually, whether you're aware of it or not, we feel it first in the physical body as a sensation. A situation will occur that will trigger the anxiety or stress response in your body. Your brain will send a signal through the bloodstream to the rest of your body. That signal would be adrenaline or cortisol. That's a stress hormone. And it gets your body prepared to react very quickly. So what you might feel this as is your breathing gets shallow and fast. And what that is because you need to take more oxygen into your body and into the bloodstream so that it can go to your vital organs and muscles to prepare you to react. And then your heart rate will increase, and your heart rate will increase because it has to carry that oxygen to the bloodstream. And then your other responses might be you get sweaty hands, or you sweat because your sweat glands take over to control your body temperature as this is all occurring. And then what happens is you get ready to react very quickly with a physical sensation in your muscles, which might tighten, get tense, because you need to do something. So that is all on a biological level. So heart races, your breathing, your breath happens, your muscles get tight, and that is just everything on a biological level. On a mental level, what's happening in your mind is you might have racing thoughts that you don't feel in control of, out of control, and you're unable to focus, no focus. It takes over everything in your mind. So this is the result of the uncontrollable thoughts. That's when it happens, and that's when the anxiety kicks in. But on an emotional level, something else is going on there. You're feeling things like fear or apprehension. And what's happening as a result of the fear and apprehension is that you freeze, you don't want to do something, it stops you moving. All these overwhelming emotions take you over, and you feel out of control emotionally, and that isn't a nice feeling. And then what happens is all of this is going on, and how is it impacting your social health? Well, it will stop you communicating with others, right? It makes it difficult. Anxiety makes it difficult to communicate. You don't want to be socializing with anyone. So what you do is you withdraw. And as we know, withdrawal can lead to isolation, feelings of loneliness, which can lead to depression. And it can also impact our relationships, our current relationships, because, we have these outbursts and we kind of can't control our emotions. And that's what goes on. And that's all interlinked. All of this is part of us. Let me share how I did this and used this tool at one quite crucial point in my professional life. I was asked to run a resilience and wellness retreat for a full year 11 cohort, that's 16 years old, at a very prestigious school. And part of what I was required to do was present to the parents to show them why I was qualified to do the job. So what I decided to do was not to do the standard thing of, here are my credentials, this is who I am. I decided to make an animation video of all the trauma of my life and my experiences and how I had come through them. So when the evening came, I got up and I made this animation video. But the good thing was I didn't say that the main protagonist, my name is Mindy, but I didn't say it was Mindy. I called the girl Meninda, which is my real name, but nobody knew that. So as I step on stage hundreds of parents in the auditorium, massive stage. I pressed play for the video, and I was watching it, and all of a sudden, my mind goes blank. I start to feel very vulnerable and exposed, and my mouth goes dry. I cannot get a word out of my mouth at that point. And it threw me because I don't normally get nervous in front of crowds. I love presenting on stage, but in that moment, I couldn't do anything. I was completely helpless. But with the awareness and lots of training that I had had in mindfulness, I was able to catch the moment, practice this tool, and be in control of my emotional responses. So what I did was I managed to compose myself. I got back up on stage, took a sip of water and said, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mindy, but my real name is Meninda." And at that point, I had their attention for the right reasons. What I did in that moment was I activated a part of my body, or all of our bodies, called the vagus nerve, not slot machines, vagus nerve, as in Vagus. And the vagus nerve is also known as the 10th cranial nerve in the body. It's the longest cranial nerve, and it runs from our brainstem through our neck, down to our chest, and into the abdomen. And this nerve is responsible for a lot of the involuntary or automatic responses in the body, the ones that we just do without knowing, like the heart rate or the respiratory rate. And when we're able to control that nerve, it's also very connected to the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is the part of our the part of our nervous system that is responsible for the rest and digest, the relaxation response to the body. Basically, the thing that calms you down when you're about to freak out in the moment. So I can't tell you, when you're able to do this automatically because you've practiced it so much and you can just pull it out in the moment, it feels fantastic. But don't get me wrong, it's not like you're going to get it right every time. Even with experience, I still get my buttons pushed by each one of my children. And you'll often hear me shouting and exemplary behavioral modeling when I'm going, "Stop shouting!" It takes practice, commitment, and you've got to keep going with them. But the good news is it works most of the time. So there are many ways to activate the vagus nerve. And what I'm going to share with you today is a breathing technique called box breathing. It's basically called box breathing because the formation of the breath is in a square. It's also called square breathing for that reason. It's not rocket science. It doesn't take long, and you can implement it all the time. And in fact, we're going to do it now. This breathing technique is used by the US navals and military because it is the breathing that takes them out onto the battlefield or into stressful job situations where they're able to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and manage their stress. And it's very simple. I'm going to share a slide with you that you can download as well and practice it. You basically breathe in for 4 counts. You hold the breath for 4 counts. You breathe out for 4 counts. And you hold the breath out for 4 counts. So it's 4, 4, 4, and 4. If you can't hold the breath or breathe in for 4 counts, just start with 2 or 3 or 1 and work your way up to it. You don't have to hold your breath and stress yourself out and create the opposite effect. So we're going to practice this together. Let's do it. I only need 3 rounds of this for you to feel the benefits of it. So you can either use your finger to breathe in, hold the breath, breathe out, hold the breath if you want to, or you can do the square in your mind, but whatever feels comfortable. You can keep your eyes open. I prefer to keep them closed because I can see better in my mind. So let's sit up nice and tall with your back straight. If you've got your hands or your legs crossed over, just uncross them and try. It's really important to keep the back nice and straight. You can support yourself against a wall if you need, or you can lie down and do this as well. You're going to take a few deep breaths in and out. Just let's inhale together and exhale. And inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Now, let's breathe in for 4 counts. Breathe in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out of your body. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it one more time. Hold. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. And then just breathe normally. A few rounds. Regulate your breath. And then when you feel ready, without rushing, you can open your eyes. How do you feel? If you didn't quite get the feelings, keep practicing because it will come. And if you did, well done. How long did we take? 3 rounds of that? And look at the feeling you have right now. That's what I did in the moment to be able to step out on that stage and be able to recompose myself. And the great thing about box breathing, it's not just good for stress and anxiety management. It's excellent for improving sleep quality. If you suffer from insomnia, give it a go before you go to sleep. And it's great for improving focus and concentration to keep you really alert before you do a presentation or whatever you need to do. You might say that you don't have time to do box breathing, but I'm going to say to you, you're breathing anyway. You're doing this every single second of your day. So just with a bit of awareness, you can be conscious to change the style of your breathing a little bit. It can also be done anyway. You don't need to be sat hidden away. You can do this on your journey to work. You can do it while you're doing your grocery shopping. You can do it just before you go to bed and go to sleep at night, or in the morning as you're getting ready. You can do this at any time. It's not going to cost you time. And as you felt, it's not too much effort either. So box breathing is a fantastic way to be reactive in a moment of stress and produce that relaxation from the body when you need it. But how do we get proactive? How do we get to the point where we don't need to be in that situation? We can prevent that situation by practicing certain techniques over time that will help us be in control of our life. Well, over the next couple of videos, I'm going to share with you a little bit of insight into cognitive behavioral therapy and how it can help us to be more self-aware and be in control of those 4 aspects of our health: mental, emotional, physical, and social. I'll also be sharing some mindfulness techniques that are really simple, that don't take long, that you can use every day. So stay tuned in. And please do share the technique with anyone. As I said, I've got the shared down there because we can't stigmatize mental health anymore. There's so many people suffering in silence, and it doesn't need to be that way. Finally, I love to hear from you. So leave me some comments. How did you find the box breathing? Was it great? Were you challenged with it? Or what stops you from taking the steps to personal transformation, for instance? I always love to hear your thoughts. So leave me a comment and I'll see you in the next video.